I'm going to now turn it over to our wonderful MC, Maurice Kelly. Thank you so much.
Believe it or not, my only qualification to be MC is that my initials are MC. Thank you all for laughing at my dumb joke. My children would not have done that. So I am Maurice. This is my telephone. On this side, you will see this guy. Can anyone tell me who this is? I know. I didn't think you could. It's really important. It's James Baldwin. And on this side is a drawing that I had AI do for me. It's Kendrick Lamar saying hello to Jean-Michel Basquiat. But I'm only bringing out my phone for this one very important announcement. We should probably turn our phones off. Wow, I'm not even turning it off. I'm just putting it on sleep mode, and nobody's gonna bug me this whole time. So welcome to McDaniel's. This is the 8th annual Story Slam. So mad props to Nancy for making this happen for so many years in a row. And this is, if you have never been to one of these before, live storytelling. These people are telling us things that happened for real in their real lives. And they're going to do it with style and gusto. So we are going to be the greatest audience of all time. Our theme this year is extra, because guess why? It's leap year, and we've got 29 days in February, and some adult somewhere was like, hey, guess what? This is going to be the theme. And all of my students, weirdly, have been like, they don't think it's funny. Kids are weird. So you've got 5 minutes to tell a story. The judges get to do their thing and judge the story. They give them number scores. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We've already silenced our phone, so let's see. My other announcement is that we are going to be, I said we're going to be the greatest audience. These folks have worked really hard on crafting their stories. They are going to stand in front of us and bear a little part of their soul. And so we're going to listen attentively with all of the clapping and cheering and, hooting and hollering. And let's be kind and, stay as long as we possibly can so people can have the biggest audience. And we'll stay until we can announce the winners, because there's a little bit of math at the end, So let's be here to celebrate them. I'm going to introduce the judges. They are not sitting according to the number here, but we're going to go, this is fine. We're just going to go down this order. Weirdly, we put their bios on the back. Our judge number 1 is Chris Williams. Chris is a storyteller, a story coach, an improv performer, creator of the storytelling community building event Front Porch Sessions. I heard Darshan tell a story there once. And manager of the student engagement coaches at PPS. He's trained in conflict resolution, restorative justice, suicide prevention, and mediation practices. Chris believes strongly in community engagement, self-reflection, laughing whenever possible, and the power of telling and listening to stories. So thank you, Chris, for being here. Our next judge is Darshanpreet Gill. Darshanpreet is from sunny Sacramento, California, Almond Farm. She teaches biology and a couple of other things. When asked to describe her classroom, a student said it is a neon-themed reggaeton Bollywood dance party. I know, seriously, my biology was not that. Our next judge is Day Rivers. You can find Day Rivers playing in fictional worlds, arting and collective dreaming, but mostly trying to nap. Judge number 4, Shannon Emerson. Shannon tries not to judge people all that much, but is making an exception for this competition. She's here today to do the job she's been asked to do, but rest assured, she will be silently not judging you the entire time. So thank you. Thank you. And our final judge is Ian Twiss. one of the vice principals here, and my Lakota friend I text every day. He's also an amazing jeweler. So look him up on Instagram, Twist Silver Designs. I'm not currently wearing any of his jewelry because I'm a teacher. And I don't wear jewelry. That's nothing to say about anything else. So thanks so much to you all, the judges. We are going to get into our first story now because you're done listening to me talk. I also brought an assistant with me. This is Josephine. Say hi to Josephine. Josephine begrudgingly agreed to come with me, and even more begrudgingly agreed to be my fishbowl puller. So grab me a name, kiddo. She really went deep in the bowl for that one. Our first storyteller is Emily Blacker. Emily said if she had an extra hour a day, they'd spend it playing with their two cats. So give it up to Emily.
I'm not that tall. There we go. Hello, I'm Emily, and I am extra. And even though my story's not too long, quite literally because I'm only 16, it feels as though I've lived 1,000 lifetimes. I feel as though my family has taken me everywhere in the world, from Disneyland to Yosemite Park to Missouri to New York. That was really cool. But my whole life, as long as I can remember, I've always been the loudest. I've always been the most talkative. I remember a girl specifically calling me extra in middle school. Her name was Felicia, and I got in trouble for saying bye Felicia back when that was popular. I really didn't mean that. She was really nice. But I've always been criticized. My friends always said I talk too loud. My teachers always said I talk too much. I remember on every elementary report card it said, "Great student, loved to have in class, but could talk a little less. Could be a little less. Could be a little quieter." It felt like every compliment was counteracted with the fact that I was too loud for their comfort. And so being deemed extra my whole life never felt like a good thing. I didn't go very far. I didn't travel around very much when I was younger. I only stayed at the same elementary school my whole life, Valley View Elementary School, and I could remember all the time just wanting to fit in desperately, but always feeling too loud, too much, too confident, too talkative, too opinionated, too extra. And when I moved here, I was in 6th grade, which is the worst ever. If I could rank middle school for all of its badness, the worst part had to be 6th grade. Not my favorite. That was the first time I got lice. This is my first time being in Oregon. It's my first time moving to a different state. And it was also my first time having a real best friend. My best friend, Elle Hansen, they go here. I'm sure some of you know who they are. The only person in middle school who didn't think I talked too much, too loud, and too often. And Elle really helped me realize that I'm not extra. Although I didn't see it at first when we first met, I really just wanted to fit in. I was too focused on fitting in to acknowledge that I had already found the only real friend I needed, and I kept searching all these other places to find it. I kept seeking validation from other people who would tell me that I fit in, that I was normal, and that I wasn't extra. Me and Elle kind of lost contact for a while when we started high school. It was because we just drifted apart. We got into a big argument in 8th grade, and it just wasn't the same after. But I could remember for my first 2 years of high school feeling so lost, just like 6th grade, I swear freshman year must be a close second to 6th grade. The building was brand new, so I didn't feel too bad about getting lost because everyone was lost, even my teachers, which was very reassuring, but still I didn't quite feel like I fit in. I tried to join the volleyball team. I was really proud of that. I got really into it really fast. I was captain of the JV2 team. That's not so impressive, but at least I was captain. That was the exciting part that my parents got to tell my grandparents. My grandparents always thought I was too loud. My grandma did, at least. She always thought I talked too much, especially at the dinner table. She preferred it nice and quiet, and I was just too much for her. But the sound of being captain of a sports team sounded much more appealing to her than my dazzling intellect. I swear I don't feel that intelligent, I just like to talk a lot. But it didn't turn out so well with the volleyball thing. My team was kind of not my biggest fan. So being the captain was kind of hard when the whole team didn't quite like me very much. But I moved past that, and throughout high school, I still continued to feel lost. I felt like I had found my place in theater, but that didn't quite work out either. I got really into poetry and speaking and talking, and I did a bunch of slams all over the city, and then I kind of fell out of love with poetry. And then I started my junior year, and I had no idea what I was doing. Every idea I had for my future was suddenly. But then I started doing debate, and I made more friends. And I found people who didn't think I talked too much or too loud. They didn't find me extra. And it felt really stupid to cry in front of my debate coach who told me to toughen up, pleb. But honestly, never in my life had I ever met someone who saw so much potential in me. I've never met people who really did think I wasn't extra. They thought I was the right amount. And I wish everyone felt the right amount, because we all have insecurities. We're all insecure about something, and those things are so arbitrary. But now I feel like I'm beyond extra. I'm truly whole. Thank you.
Okay, nice shout out to the speech and debate crew. Hey, while the judges, yeah, you must like to speak. Hey, a quick announcement, speaking of this wonderful story. The annual McDaniel Poetry Slam is happening Thursday, April 11th. So if you like Story Slam, imagine that slam. So fun, good times. And the winner of that one will go on to the All City Slam on April 25th. So just lots and lots of performing ready to happen. Okay. What else does an MC do besides make announcements?
Be funny.
Be funny? Snap. Okay, so that announcement over there came from Karen. Nah, it wasn't Karen. I mean, you can't really call people out too bad. We have to riff. I'm not used to this one because with poetry, you're just like reading scores. And I don't think we're doing that here. So, man, I'll work on my material for the next one. Oh yeah, they have a rubric, I see that. I wasn't really thinking through that. Rubrics is like a teacher thing. Rubrics are great. It makes judging so much better. Hey, it looks like we are going to have a long, fun evening of me telling not funny jokes. So,
The audience out?
yeah, you can. Would you like to tell a joke?
What did the 0 say to the 8?
Je sais
Nice
pas.
belt.
Get it? 'Cause it's a good one. Okay. Thank you for that joke. Hey, fishbowl friend, you want to grab me another name? Oh, hey, Hey, see, Joey only agreed to be my fishbowl friend if I promised that she did not have to come on stage. So, look at me being a good dad. Hey, so our next person said that if they had a 25th hour of the day, how would they spend that extra time? They would spend that time sleeping and eating, because I spend most of my time doing other things. Something that I could not agree with more. Let's give it up for Alina Cruz.
So in December of 2022, I got the news that I was going to be able to have a quinceañera. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but it's when, like, in like Hispanic culture, a girl turns into a woman. And I was really excited because of that, since I've always wanted one. So we only had 6 months left to plan it all out. And it was really stressful because my parents aren't together. So I had to talk to one about it and then the other and all of that stuff. And it was just really stressful. So the week before my quinceañera, my mom decided to invite her side of the family last minute. So they flew over from Chicago. My mom decided to give a tour of Oregon to my cousins. And I was really stressed because there was only a week left to plan it all out, and they were just touring around. Well, that same day, my mom told my cousin to give me a ride to the mall so I can get my flower bouquet for the party. I don't know why, but we decided to go get a coffee, and I left the flower bouquet under the table. And it was really expensive. I don't know why, but it was really expensive. And, well, we just decided to leave the mall. We walked towards the car, and all of a sudden I'm like, where's my bouquet? And that's when reality hit, and I told my cousin, we need to go look for it right now, because if I don't get home with that bouquet, I know what lesson I'm gonna get. So we run around the mall. We ask a woman if someone has seen a bouquet, anything. Then we remembered we left it at the coffee shop. So we ran on the other side of the mall as fast as I could, and I can't really run, so that was difficult. And I got there, and surprisingly, the flower bouquet is still there. So I was really happy about it, because I was proud of myself, but not really though. But so we would drive home, and that's when I knew, and I realized things were not gonna go the way I planned. And a few days later, it was the morning of my quinceañera. And my mom took me to go get my hair and makeup done by a professional. So I had to take off my glasses to get my makeup done, obviously. And I didn't know what was going on, because I'm blind. And 2 hours later, I see my makeup done, and it's nothing like I expected, nothing I wanted. And I went to my dad, and I was like, I don't like this makeup. It doesn't feel like me. And he said, well, we can't do anything about it. And I expressed all my feelings to my parents, and they said I was being extra about it. So I had to continue on with the day with that makeup, and my feelings weren't validated. They were just dismissing it and saying I was being extra. So it was time for the photo shoot, and the photographer decided to take pictures of me and my dad. My dad showed up with a yellow shirt, jeans, and boots. So those are the pictures on my album. At least he didn't forget the truck, So we made our way to the event center, and I started saying hi to everybody, and I tried to dismiss all my feelings. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just being extra, It's gonna be fine. It was time for the grand entrance, and well, I got my parents beside me, my godparents, the chambelanes, and all of a sudden I hear this music, and it's the wrong music. So I turned around to my mom, and I start crying, and I'm like, this is the wrong music. And I felt so stressed and disappointed, because me and my chambelanes worked for 2 months, put extra effort into those dances for it to be ruined like in a minute. So I just turned to my mom and I'm like crying, and then she's like, don't stop being extra. She literally said that I was being extra. And I'm like, okay, so we did the entrance with that music, and then we were in the middle of like the event center. Everybody was looking at us, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. It's fine. And the DJ put the music again. I danced, everything, and in my mind, I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. But deep down, we all knew it wasn't gonna be fine because, well, it was being recorded. It was gonna be uploaded online, and everybody was gonna see my like mental breakdown, and they were just like, "Oh, she's extra," but there was nothing we could do. Well, we got the dance over with. Went to go change to our clothes for the surprise dance, and that's when one of my chambelanes told me he got the wrong size of jeans for the surprise dance. So we were all stressed, and it was last minute. There was like 5 minutes left before we could do the surprise dance. So one of my other chambelanes, he's like, "Oh, I'll wear them." So he put extra effort into fitting into those jeans. And I guess it worked out. We did our dance and everything, but we just kept looking at each other in disappointment because all our extra effort was just thrown to the trash, basically. And, well, after that, we just continued with our night, and in the videos, you can just see my watery eyes and my disappointed face, and they just dismissed it as extra. And, well, that was that. At the end of the night, we just continued dancing, like, everything was fine, but basically, I was just being extra, and that's it.
I was paying attention when Miss Sullivan showed us how to adjust the microphone. Thank you for sharing that story. I have only been I was only married once. And so planning something like that stress was very stressful. So thanks for sharing. While our math judge person eagerly awaits and anticipates the rubrics from our judges, let's introduce those folks. Our math genius is actually a chemistry teacher, Karen. Say hello to Karen. And our wildly funny assistant to the math genius is Zach. Zach dressed up like an adult today, I was told, in a very crisp button-down and glasses.
I was
So
sick of getting mistaken for a high school student.
yes, I could see that. Wow, and our official timer, Sunny Childs. Yes. So far, Sunny has not had to kick anyone off the stage for talking too long. So good job, you all. Let's keep that up. And I will also say that we're almost done with rubrics. We are here for this McDaniel High School Story Slam, and our first and second place winners will get to represent our lovely high school at the Truth Be Told Citywide Story Slam, which will happen on Leap Day, the extra one, Thursday, February 29th at 7 p.m. at the Grant High School Library. So let's go and celebrate them and all the other teens across the city who tell such wonderful tales. Okay, fishbowl friend, you ready to roll? Oh, digging. You got it. This friend of ours, when asked what they would do with an extra hour in a day, said that their main goal would be to deprive us of the joy of reading the greatest book ever written, because they would write that book and then burn it because it's not that great. To which I said, Elijah, please don't burn your words. We love them. So let's see what story Elijah will tell us today. Give it up for Elijah McDaniel.
degrees. Give me a second. I guess it's a brain fart. All right, so as you guys might not know, or might know, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I'm single. I'm like really single. It's sad. But I wanted to do something about this year, and I decided, why not talk to women? So I'm walking around, and I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea. Nothing can go wrong. I walk up to a cute girl, and I'm like, and then I turn around. and then I tell myself, I gotta do this. So I turn around, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? And then I ask her out, and I'm like, you wanna get dinner sometime? And she says, yeah, that'd be great. So we're getting Chinese food, which I love Chinese food, it's great. It messes with me in here, but that's not gonna be a problem for the future. And it's going great. I'm enjoying my time. She's maybe enjoying her time. I think so. I hope so. And it finally comes to an end. So I'm driving her home. We're talking about like, man, that was great. I get to her home. I park. And we're walking up to her door. And I'm like, man, that was great. We should do something like that. And then before I can finish my sentence, I drop my keys. So I turn around. I pick them up. And my pants tear. I should have seen this coming because I chose to wear like nice, tight, like a suit, you know? And I don't know my suit size. If you ask me, they should make like one size that's normal for everything. But I tear it. I tear my pants. Not only do I rip my pants, but I rip it. It's like, it's so loud. I'd say like something about how you guys should have been there to like know the grand scale of it, but I don't even want to have been there. And I'm like, yay, that was fun. And then I run to my car and I drive off. Every time I see her, I go like this. No, but actually, we're chill. It was really fun. Thank you guys.
Wow. Just wow. Young love, man. Am I right? Fortunately, I've had the same Valentine for 24 years, so I've not had to. It's not, I mean, cool. Yeah, it's not. I love you, Leslie. Wow. I'm just going to stop talking about that now. Hey, let's say hi to our videographer, Frank. Hi. Thanks for being here. And our official photographer is listed as Andrew Haflin, but looking behind the camera, I'm guessing that that's not actually Andrew Haflin. So, hi, Andrew Haflin's avatar. What's here?
Yeah, I'm Zay.
Hi, Zay.
Yes, Zay.
Thanks for taking photos. We'll remember these moments for forever. And then the last cool thing I'm going to say is that Elijah had a very great wardrobe choice. You'll notice Elijah wanted to twin with me. So if you would like to join our twin sum and become like a triplet or a quadruplet or maybe even what's 12? It's not a sum? I was just going to skip all the way to all. You should talk to Nancy. Nancy's is selling shirts that are cool like these. You can order them. They were designed by, I think, a student. Yes, and they are produced by Randy Mabes, our teacher who does stuff. Yes, and Anna Gladwin. It says that right there. I was getting there. Oh, see, got it. So Anna Gladwin isn't just the person who makes them. Anna's the person who designed them. Mad props to Anna. And if you're like, I don't actually want a shirt, but I do like the design, there's stickers and stuff over there. So, cool. It looks to me like our numbers geniuses are done using the dreaded rubrics. Sorry. Fishbowl friends, you ready for number 4? That was number 3. JK LOL, break time. Thank you for keeping me on track. Look, I do this as a teacher. I always forget when we're going to take breaks. So why don't you go get yourself a cookie? Okay, I'm here now. Microphones are cool and all, but then when you whisper in them, they don't do very much. You just have to like actually talk. It's kind of a bummer. So I'm glad that you are all able to get some extra dessert. And yeah, see what I did there? Thank you. I'm here all night. So our very next storyteller is a young individual who said that with an extra hour every day would go outside for a walk and think about nothing but random thought. I love walking outside and thinking about random things. So let's give it up for Osamar.
Yeah, this is too tall for me. Hello. If you're wondering why I have my baseball pants on, is that I come from practice. So I'm also cold. I come from practice, so expect me to stutter and a little bit of shivering around. It's not dancing, it's shivering. All right, I'm sorry. This is, all right, for context, this is in the 7th grade. And yeah, this is in 7th grade. I wake up, I look at the time, realize that it has passed. I took too long and I'm not late to class. So I grab my backpack and arrive. I am ready to get a new education and I'm ready to learn. All I'm thinking about are numbers in my head. I got math class and I begin to think. I begin to think about the numbers of many things. How many beautiful flowers are there in this world? How many things make me smile and laugh? How beautiful life truly is. I start to lose myself into my own thoughts. I'm thinking about my imagination and the possibilities of this world. What makes this beautiful world and what makes it ugly? I begin to see things. I begin to see life. Life is beautiful. It is filled with many beautiful moments and beautiful things. It is joyful, and it brings happiness and makes me glad. I also see all sorts of things that pain brings. I see a kid who suffers and is unable to walk. I see a kid unable to talk, both unable to stop the horror of this world of people crying, of defeat and pain. They suffer from this beautiful world. It is nothing but a thought. But what if they were my family or friends? What if I could stop the pain that brings them to a stop? Life is beautiful. It is filled with joy and happiness and pain. It is something that many people take for granted and take it to vain. I see myself being able to walk the street and run. I realize it is something that many wish and pray to do for one day. Sickness is what stops many from being able to experience this beautiful world. But saving an extra dollar is what I would rather do than to help those in need. What if I were the one unable to breathe? I would hope help would come my way, hoping to live an extra day. But life is beautiful, or is it not? Life is filled with beauty of a lover's eyes. How can I lose myself in them? It's something I despise. I see something that I could trust and love, but I also see something that is filled with lies, nothing but lies. The anger it brings from being lied wants me to begin to sin. I begin to plan an act of revenge that I would rather pray for a downfall than for someone to get well. In life, there is nothing that ain't bold. I see people killing other people out in the cold. I can hear someone telling me to ignore it, to put a blindfold, so I wouldn't see the truth of this world. It seems this day and age, no one is dying old. I see kids dying right down on the street, where mom must be crying defeat. All these images running through my head, asking why people would kill and see others dead. All this pain makes me begin to die. I woke up and I realized I experienced nothing but a dream, a rather weird one, or could have been a nightmare instead. I look where one rested my head, and I am thankful to be at peace. But I look up and see numbers again, knowing I'm in school again. I realize that I am at my desk. I'm thankful for being here and feeling my best. There is a feeling of stress, but I choose to ignore it because I've been sleeping in class. For I must catch up because time has passed and I'm thinking about how thankful I can be. This day could be my last, or maybe the next will be. All I know is I am thankful and blessed, for this life is beautiful, but I see pain and stress. I may be crazy, but it feels like it was not my imagination. It was not a dream or a hallucination, rather an image of this creation. Or I'm just being extra.
What an extremely poetic story, thank you. And now I'm gonna feel really badly every time I wake up a sleeping student because they might be having that sort of experience. But also, I like to think I'm important. Right? Am I important? Y'all. Wow. Someone will be getting no cookies for the rest of their life. Ever again. Just, wow, brutal. So brutal. Okay, friends. There's another announcement I need to make, and it is this. Being an MC is really quite fun. Every time I get to be in front of people, I have a microphone. I like it. My wife tends to think that I'm going to get myself fired. And Darshan agrees. She's a note of random things that I've said in real life.
I can share it with anybody.
Maybe you don't. But it's only one role that makes an event like this happen. So we are always looking for judges, timekeepers, math assistants. You can even dress like an adult to do that job, a fishbowl person. If you're ever interested in helping make a slam like this happen, please do reach out to Miss Sullivan. She's always looking for people to help bake and film and, all the cool things. So just, we like to think that the library is a community hub. So come participate in our community and help our students do dope things. Hey, fishbowl friend who's never eating a cookie again. You ready? Okay. Awesome. Our next storyteller, given an extra hour every day, would use it the way every teenager in the whole wide world would use it, sleeping. Let's give it up for Red.
I'm not actually this tall. She was just at like an extra 2 inches of height. I didn't have anything funnier to say. Oh, I feel bad. So, in the beginning of my sophomore year, I had just started testosterone, and I decided that the best way that I could embrace the changes that my body was going to go through is start going to the gym. And so I decided to start going to the East Portland Community Center with 3 other friends. And we did this every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the entire month of September. And then it gets to the end of September and an unrelated event happens, being the school club fair. And as the founder of the astronomy club, I decided that I wanted to up my game this year. And I wanted to create a planetarium. And the issue with this is that the Commons is not exactly the darkest place. So I decided to improvise. So I got this great big black sheet and I painted the Milky Way on it and I attached it to 2 7-foot tall poles so that it would create kind of like an enclave for people to walk into. And the day before the club fair, I was setting it up, and I realized, oh God, I need an extra 5-foot pole in the back, otherwise this entire thing is going to collapse onto me. So because it's Tuesday, I'm at the gym with my friends, and next to the East Portland Community Center, there's a dying strip mall that contains a Home Depot and a Target. So after we work out, we go to the Home Depot, and we walk in, and I'm greeted by this assistant, and he can't be more than 18 years old. It's probably his first day on the job, and I say, hey man, I'm looking for like a 5-foot pole you got, and he's like, yeah, come follow me. Aisle 19, that's where we got the pipes. And so we go to aisle 19, and he points, and there's this long row of PVC pipes. And he says, that's the shortest one we got. It's only $12.75. And I look, and it's 15 feet tall. And he says, yeah, less than $1 per foot. It's a steal. And my Chipskate brain, less than $1 per foot. It's a steal, and I buy the thing immediately. So we leave the Home Depot, and what are 4 stupid teenagers gonna do with a 15-foot tall PVC pipe? We start hitting each other with it. We start hitting each other, we start hitting cars. My friend Casty recommends that we hit Toyota, and that's when we decide that maybe it's getting a little late, and let's go home. There was a Max station nearby, and there was a stop for the 15, and the Max wasn't gonna be there for another 20 minutes, so we decided to wait at the 15, in which a pit starts to form in the back of my throat, because I realized that if I am an overworked, underpaid TriMet bus driver, and at my stop I see 4 stupid teenagers and their 15-foot PVC pipe, I'm not getting paid enough to pick these kids up. So the bus driver rolls around, and I look at him, and I can see fear in his eyes as he stops. And there's other people at the stop, so he lets them on. And as soon as everyone else is on the bus, I open my mouth, and he just, and he bolts it out of there. So we decide, let's just cut our losses, let's take the Max. And the Max it's a massive train. So we managed to get our 15-foot PVC pipe on there without any detection, and so we ride all the way down to 82nd, in which a new problem arises, which is we're at the top of 82nd, and we have to go all the way down to McDaniel, in which I go to my dad's house and the rest of the kids go home. And I mean, it's a long walk, but it's not that bad. It's just dark out, we're lazy. So we start walking down, and then my friend Seth, he points behind us, and he says, look. And because it's laid out, the sun's setting, and I see a glimmer of hope on the horizon. And I see the 72 coming at us, and it is bathed in this golden light from the sun setting behind it. And at this point, I've lost all hope on getting on a TriMet bus tonight with my 15-foot PVC pipe. And it rolls up to our stop, and the woman on the bus, she's an old woman, she's at the end of her shift, and there is not an ounce of patience in her eyes, and she says to us, as long as y'all kids don't hit any of my passengers with that pipe, I guess you can get on. And the next day, the astronomy club has 5 more members. Thank you.
5 extra members for the astronomy club. Well done.
Yes.
I'm wondering if I know this Seth kid. We do? My BFF's name is Seth, but I don't think we're talking about the same Seth. Probably not. My Seth is not a sophomore.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay,
the,
cool,
the
cool.
sophomore.
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah.
junior with the bleach hair.
Oh, cool. I know only one of those 2. Sophomore Seth. That's my guy. Oh, South is okay. I'll pass that along. I was told that Seth was a cutie, so you guys, it's gonna be some. Maybe next Valentine's Day we'll have a different kind of love story. Wow. We'll just add matchmaker to my resume. MC, matchmaker, father who tells corny jokes. Okay, are we ready for another story? I think let's do this. Hey, fishbowl friend, do you think that anyone will make me stop calling you that, ever? Okay. Hey, Nancy, am I allowed to tell a story? Cool. I think I might tell a story after this one. Just a short one while the judges do their thing. Okay, so our next storyteller, given an extra hour, would participate in one of our school's greatest of all programs, which netted me the most lovely cup in the world. They would do ceramics. Let's give it up for Annika Schwelling.
I've got 5 pairs of pants. They're the same kind. They look like this. They never leave me. These 2 jackets are glued onto me like gum to the underside of a chair. They never come off. I am a little unhelpfully blunt, honest, and I'd like to think that I'm charmingly awkward. I can also touch my tongue to the tip of my nose. Now, let your eyes take a gander to that lovely lady over there. She's got style, not tonight, but normally. She doesn't take the clothes just from the top of the drawer, she actually picks them out. And those curls bouncing at the top of her head, they're usually better. They're natural. They're natural. She's wild, and she's crazy in a way that I don't think even she really understands. And she's funny, and she's kind, and she's all around a pretty solid human being. I love you, Sidra. Now, my mother did not plan on having twins. Giving birth to 1 child is hard enough. Giving birth to 2 is badass to a level that I hope to never be able to understand. My mom's a badass. Now, Sidra knew something was wrong right out of the gate. Now, a womb is not something that is traditionally shared. Sharing is caring, but it's also a pain in the ass. And Sidra and I, we had not had time to build rapport between ourselves. We were just thrown in together, and Sidra was pretty salty about that outcome. She decided to start plotting my murder. Yeah. She started siphoning off all the nutrients that was supposed to go to me, all the oxygen. She left me a small, stunted husk of what I was supposed to be. Now, 9 months later, I am lifted out of my mother's tired body, limp and blue, seconds away from severe and permanent brain damage. Sidra is only left with a bilevel forehead. The murder was not successful, but it was so damn close. We have an unconvicted criminal in this room, and the only reason why she's not in prison is because of various ethical reasons, but they should have made an exception. Now, being a twin is difficult. Now, in any sibling relationship, there's rivalry, there's resentment, there's jealousy, but being a twin allows for that to exist on such a heightened level. Because if you're worse at something, you can't blame it on an age difference or different circumstances, you're just worse. And to my distinct horror, Sidra was a golden child. She soared and I waddled. She was in 2nd grade, 7th grade math, I was in 3rd. She got through all 100 of the Magic Treehouse series front to back. I got through 13. In every comparable metric, Sidra was better. And she didn't understand the jealousy, the resentment, the hatred that I felt for her. All she wanted was a hug. All I wanted was for her to be carted off to another family. It took me a long time to realize, well, I remember we were riding home with my dad in the car, and he said that his most fervent wish for both of us was for us to love each other. And I think what he really meant was that he wished that I could love Sidra. Now, I was looking through pictures and videos of us growing up last night, and I ran across one that encapsulates our relationship perfectly. In a brief, momentary burst of passion, I had lovingly scrawled on a tiny piece of paper, "I love you, Sidra. You are the love of my life. I grant you one hug a day for a year." It left Sidra in tears. Wet globules of water falling from doe eyes. It wasn't a stoic, silent cry. It was a messy blubber. She was overcome at the possibility that there could be anything other than hatred between us. I did not know what I signed up for. I was in the background rolling my eyes, and my only meaningful vocal contribution to that video was to call Sidra a, what did I call her? I called her a sappy sucker. I called him a sappy sucker. I said, "Sidra, you are a sappy sucker." And the video closes. Now, it's taken us 13 years to fulfill my father's wish. It took me that long to realize that I don't have to compete against Sidra. I get to grow with her. That Sidra can dance. She can move with the music, and I've got 2 left feet, but I love to watch her. And I can throw a damn good pot on the potter wheel. Sidra's got 2 left hands, but she can carve it perfectly. We have found ways to grow with each other, intertwined, and move through this world hand in hand, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that I get to face the world with you. I'm so grateful that when the going gets tough, your tiny hand is always there to slip into mine. I am so grateful that when I look to the future, I always see you there next to me. It's taken me a long time, and I'm so grateful, Mother, that you had an extra child. Aww. Thank you.
I don't think Sidra's the only sappy sucker tonight. Okay, well, so I'm gonna tell my story now. So listen, when I was 18, I met this girl, Leslie, on the very first day of school. We were friends for 4 years. And then on our very first actual date, I said that maybe she should marry me. And she said, sure. And so we're married now. And a couple years into, well, she didn't say sure. It does actually. And maybe 2 years into marriage, we're 24-ish, and Leslie found out she was pregnant. And her very first thought was, oh F, what are our parents gonna think? Like, we're adults, they're gonna be thrilled for us. And so we were like young and very destitute compared to now, and going to appointments, telling our parents, and 2 months in, we were at our very first ultrasound, a little bit early because we didn't know when we got pregnant. And our cute little nervous selves are like, OMG, this is so cute, and look at that. And I'm playing with things that I probably shouldn't play with in the doctor's office, but you know, I'm a juvenile. So the tech comes in and it's just very, very, very awkward. And does the thing, and she's like, oh look, there's a little heartbeat, and okay, there's measuring, blah, blah, and we're like looking deep into each each other's eyes because we love each other and it's just so exciting. And this tech goes, oh, do twins run in your family? And we were like, no, do they run in yours? She's like, oh look, there's 2 of them. So like this story has me feeling like maybe my kids could be friends one day. So, but it was really cool because like being scared about having children when you're so young and broke, like we got to feel the joy at that moment when you're like, oh, there's 2 of them, cool, we can just celebrate. Because we had already come to grips with, we're gonna have babies. Hey, fishbowl friends, pseudo twin you ready for your very last fishbowl? You wanna come on stage this time? Yeah, still no? Okay, I'm gonna come get it. The mystery person who, if they were given an extra hour a day, would do what I would do as an English teacher, would read. Let's give it up for Rose.
Pardon me, I've not used a microphone before, so this might be a little intriguing with all parties included. So, summer, I was out in Washington in Agate Beach, right? And I was with my family celebrating my uncle's mother's birthday. We were at an Airbnb, and it was so wonderful there. We went to the beach daily. I have a giant, brewery. No, that's not the right word. Giant cup, let's call it, of just filled with agates. And so I get home, and I'm so excited to see my boyfriend of 2 years. Apparently, he did not feel the same, as it was 12 in the morning, and I text him, hey, you want to hang out tomorrow? I got the gut-wrenching text, I'm breaking up with you. I don't know what's going on. We were talking perfectly fine while I've been gone, and I didn't think anything new happened, but I'm like, well, this is weird. So I'm best friends with like everyone in his family. So I call up his sister. I'm like, hey, what is your brother on? He just broke up with me and it's 12 in the morning. And she decides to inform me that he kissed a girl that he'd been living in Gresham with his older sister. I knew about that, didn't really care. And he was friends with one of the tenants there, apparently said girl. And so they'd been hanging out for like a week and they kissed. I'm like, okay, could have been worse. We can solve this out. We can figure this out. So I call him and I'm like, hey, why do you want to break up? And I was trying to see if he would tell me why. And after half an hour, I'm like, I'm done. I'm just going to say it. I know what you did. I don't mind that you kissed her. We can solve this. And my ex is a very manly man with not much emotion to him. And so when I heard his sad, quiet voice say, I didn't just kiss her, I screwed her, that sent me into a emotionally unavailable circumstance. And you see, for context, my hair was about halfway down my chest, and he loved it. So I cut it off and gave it to him. And so it was still summer then, so I went over to his house while he was gone in Gresham, and I had a sleepover with his sister and his brother and his mom. And what he didn't expect when he got home was a pretty little extra surprise. So I go into his room that he shares with his brother, and I make the bed all nice and pretty, no clue when he's coming back. I fold the sheets, I put the pillows up, he has a few stuffed animals that I gave him on there. I put them up, and I brought every color you can imagine, right? So you got red, blue, green, all of that stuff. I brought a pound of glitter. Oh, it gets worse. I glitter bombed the shit out of his bed. He realized this about a week later because he used to have this long hair because he grew out because it was wintertime. Apparently, he had to cut it off because he couldn't get it out of his hair. So thank you very much, and that's what glitter bombing gets for you.
know at least one child who would love to have that much glitter in their bedroom, hopefully under different circumstances. Hey, we're gonna do something slightly different while we are doing our last calculations. I will have one more announcement, but before that announcement, we're gonna bring a very special guest onto the stage. Very special guest. Where are you at? Anyone? Who's my very special guest? Yeah, that's absolutely yes. Literally just-
Another one, because I was aware I would take everybody else's spot. Oh, wait, what? I was not, okay, there we go, that's what you do. Okay. I was not planning on doing this. So, I'm not going to be as beautiful and eloquent as my sister. And she said a lot of very nice things about me when she came up here. So I think, to start it off, I would like to say one of the things that I find the most awe-inspiring about her is her ability to command a stage and talk in such an eloquent manner that when I watch her, she says that she likes watching me dance. And I think maybe from her perspective, it's the same way I feel when I watch her on a stage, because she makes me laugh, and she almost made me cry. I wasn't quite as much of a sapsucker. Yeah, so I was gonna say that while you were talking that you should be careful, otherwise I'm gonna start crying and we're gonna just reenact the whole, note scene from our childhood. But I think, of course, when we were little, there was always hard times, and I think she did tell her story from her perspective, which, not her fault. It is her life. But I think there's also another perspective too, which is mine. And I think when I was little, I did just want a hug from her. But I think I also suffered with some of that jealousy. And I think it was helped by the fact, I was ahead of her in a few things. But I think the reason now she's so happy is because she has, through so much determination and hard work, become, I would think, better than me at all those things. So when she was little, she couldn't read until she was in 3rd grade. But what she managed to do was memorize a whole page of Ursula K. Le Guin's writing. A whole page. And it's in little font too. So this was like, I don't know, 1,000 words, and she memorized the whole thing. And she did this little stunt where at dinner she'd read it, the whole thing. And so now she still has this incredible memory. And what she did for a long time is when she's giving the speeches, is she'd memorize the whole thing. She memorized a speech on my OPA and Death with Dignity, which she gave in I think her sophomore year, and that was, I think, one of the first times that she really got into speaking. But I think that there are so many things that she does that just make me in awe of, I don't know, she makes me love the world. I think that there's a lot of times where you watch people and when they do incredible things, it's like your heart is expanding and you're like, okay, yes, the world has a lot of messed up things, but there's also beautiful people, like just absolutely beautiful in what they do. And so much of the time when I watch my sister, I just see that beauty. And she gives me hope in so many ways. And she said on stage that I give her that motivation and that hope. And I just want to say that she does that too. And I know that wherever I go, she will be my anchor in that way. That there is beauty and there is joy, and she is the best sister ever. And I'm glad that my mom had an extra sister, because I am not the extra she is.
It's going to be a fun fight for the rest of their lives. Hey, while Karen and her adult assistant finish tabulating, can we maybe have all the storytellers come for a group photo? Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, all of you. If you told the story, let's go. Come on the stage. I'm even going to get out of the way so I can just be cool storytellers. But I'm going to take the microphone with me because either end, do I have to be in the picture? Okay.
Do one with us and one with just them. Wait, we're like single file. There we go. Somebody come sit down here with me. Oh, I can do it.
Now we need to do
Okay,
something
cool.
different.
Oh, sure.
Weren't we being silly just then?
Oh, were you being silly? Oh, let's go. We're doing this.
I just really haven't moved.
Y'all, in the audience, don't we love this? It's like us looking weird on stage. Okay, everyone, now give us the most extra pose you can give us.
Oh my goodness. This is just the story.
Well, if our theme is extra,
Yeah, you guys do extra. There you go.
yes,
Make it work.
extra,
Work it,
okay.
work it.
Wonderful.
He put up 2
More
thumbs.
extra.
If we could find one more thumb, that would be amazing. Someone just run around behind. Oh, great. Do we have scores and winners and stuff? We still taking? Okay. Oh, Nancy's got prizes. Genie Eye is kind of sort of the plural for genius. And even if it's not, who are you to tell me different? Unless you have a dictionary, then you can tell me different. Oh wait, I need my clipboard. Okay, I just wanted to remind us, just in case you forgot, we are going to announce our finalists from 5 down to 1. And the top 2 are going to do what? Do you remember? They're going, oh, see, you remember, but you work here. They go to Grant to the Story Slam on February 29th. Truth be told, that's the name of the event. Also, in fun fact, in case you were curious, this person over here, Isabel Matthews, I was their freshman English teacher. Yeah. And you want to know an extra fun fact about Isabel and me? Isabel was livid that I gave her a B.
A B.
Keep that microphone.
If it weren't for that B, I ended up being valedictorian because I retook the credit. I would not have been valedictorian because of a freshman English B? No. No.
Wait.
Wait,
Here's that being. You
here's
didn't
the-
give it. She earned it.
That's true.
No, another one.
So what happened?
It was a discussion about Romeo and Juliet. I am not a public speaker 4 years ago. And I was like crying for weeks after that. But I recovered.
It was a
But I had to make that clear.
I like putting myself on blast with that one.
I
That
didn't
was
know
fun.
if you ever
That was
remembered
really
that. I was
good.
like, is he going to say it? And
Oh, of course I remember that. Why would I care about my students and their traumas? Not enough to give them grades they did not earn, though. Or sorry, maybe too much to give them grades that they did not
Another
earn.
thing, I have been in college for 4 years and I have only gotten A's.
Good job. And obviously we've overcome that fear of speaking in front of people.
That's because of meditation.
Okay. Top 3. We're going in top 3, not top 5. Okay. I was just told by this person. Hey, so let's. Oh, I didn't bring the little thing so I could say fun things about who did what. But number 3, you ready for this? Can we get like a little, yeah. Well, maybe a little quieter because this mic isn't that loud. Great. But no louder because I can't quite hear it. So teeny bit down. Okay, perfect.
Just announce the winner, man. We got school tomorrow.
Okay, let's give it up for number 3, Emily. Oh, come on up here, yes, come on here. Yes. Please do come to the stage. And welcome to the stage with me.
Hey.
Okay, cool. Hey, person number 2. Can we have one more little guy? Yeah, I do want that. Number 2 is Ren. The wonderful 15-foot PVC pipe. So extra. And number 1 is the maybe or maybe not extra child on the push ramp. One more round of applause for our judges, for our storytellers, for our fishbowl friends, and for all the people who came to tell stories. Thank you so much. And everyone, I am told that I have to finish. I am legally obligated to finish by saying, safe travels as you go home.
Why is everyone still sitting down? I know.
No, it's like, it's, you know, it's wrong, no, either way. This first should be